What's lifestyle freedom look like for you? Have you thought about that? Do you have a dream? Is there something that you wish that you could accomplish? Well, I had that dream as well. And I want to show you what lifestyle freedom looks like for me. This is my mobile office. It's built on a heavy duty Freightliner truck chassis, so it looks like a semi. It's 45 feet long, and that's my lime green Jeep that I tow behind it, a Rubicon. Yes, I do all the driving. I have a commercial driver's license, as a matter of fact. My husband's legally blind, and so I had to learn to be able to drive a big rig if we wanted to do this. And so we go anywhere we choose all over the United States in this. We've been up into Canada. We've also lived in Mexico, but not with this. We had a home in Mexico. And this is exactly what lifestyle freedom looks like for us. And maybe it's something completely different for you, or maybe something like this seems like a really good idea. Like you can work from anywhere. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today is what does that look like? How do you get to the point of having that kind of lifestyle freedom that you literally can work from any place you are, whether it's a small town, whether you want to travel, whether you want to live internationally, there's a way to do all of that. And so really the key to this is becoming a freelancer, someone who is an independent contractor, someone that doesn't have to go apply for a job, someone that supplies a service or something that you do for other people that you can do from a distance. You can do it online. That digital component is super important. And so if that sounds like something that you would like to aim at, not have to go back to the job, we have had what's called the Great Resignation. A lot of people have just said, I've had it with this cubicle living, with someone else telling me what to do, when to do it, whether I can go to the restroom or not, if I can take a break or not, if I can have time with my family or not. And if that's you, if you're feeling like that as well, let's make a little plan right now that can help you get started to embrace that lifestyle freedom that you might be looking for and dreaming of and deserving of as well, because it's not too late. This is a great time to do it. And if you follow a few steps. And so let's go through a few of those. I've got a 5-step plan for you today of how you can accomplish this. So the first thing is you need to focus your intention. If this is something that you want to achieve for yourself, where your attention goes, where your intention goes, and where your intention is where your attention should go. So it kind of works both directions. But what you focus on is what you begin to create in your life. It's just the way our brains work. If we want to match up, our brain wants to match up our outer reality with our inner reality. And so if you're focused on what you truly desire to create in your life, instead of the old stories that might be limiting you or keeping you from doing it, your brain will be your best ally to help you move forward towards that accomplishment, that goal that you wish to achieve. And you can do it. I know so many people that are doing this, including myself. I have been living the dream, so to speak, since before 2004, actually, because my husband and I found other ways to work for ourselves. But I got really serious about freelancing around the end of 2004 when I learned one particular skill that I'll talk about in just a little bit. And that leads me to point number 2, learn a profitable skill, okay? You need to have something that's marketable, that's valuable, that's profitable, that's portable, and that's sustainable. All of these things can happen when you choose a skill that you can relate to, that you are willing to do the work. It does take doing the work. You do have to dig in. You might need to enroll in a program. You might need to get some short-term training. But the idea here is that you're not going back to school, spending years in college, having to go back into a classroom, incurring massive debt for any kind of 4-year education. Maybe you've already got that and you're finding you're not even using it. I've worked with many people who have PhDs, doctors, former law enforcement, military, lots of people that have done a lot of great things in life, but they were ready to do something else. And maybe you feel like that too, and want to know that you can continue to add value. You can continue to have impact in the world and maybe have greater impact because now you're choosing your own path. So invest in learning a valuable skill. Now, online, that could be anything from how to build a funnel to graphic design to various forms of writing, especially if you enjoy writing. There's a particular kind of freelance writing that pays very, very well. It's what I do. It's called freelance copywriting, and it's very portable. Okay, so something that you can do from anywhere. So all you need is a computer, an internet connection, a cell phone, and a plan. And that leads us to number 3, make a plan. You know, if you plan to fail to plan, right? And so you want to and commit to not just make a plan, but commit to a plan, even if you don't know the how, even if you can't yet see exactly how it's all going to come together. If you set that intention and you start the wheels in motion, you'll find that each step takes you closer to seeing that vision of where you want to be. I liken it to setting out on a road trip in that mobile office. We often drive all the way across country from Arizona to particularly Washington, D.C., because we have family there and our grandchildren are there. And so when we start off, when we're leaving Arizona, I can't see the border of Virginia, Northern Virginia, where we go just 7 miles outside of Washington, D.C. I can't see that, right? And if I sit and wait to see it, I'm never going to leave. So I have to depend on GPS. I have to depend on having somewhat of a plan. I have to depend on having tools that will help us achieve the goal, which is to go safely from Arizona to Washington, D.C. And that's what we do. And so we begin with the end in mind. Even though we cannot see the border of the state line of where we're going, we're going to learn a lot of things along the way. We're going to trust in the process, and we know we're going to get there. And that's exactly the same for you when you want to achieve that lifestyle freedom and you want to create a different quality of life for yourself. And the other thing to do with that is don't wait. Time is not infinite as far as our time here on earth. There is going to be a limit to it. We all should know that very clearly at this point. And so you need to embrace what we have in the moment, because the past, the minute I say this, it's already past. I haven't said the next thing yet. That's future that we really can't hang on to. And even as we say we're in the now, it's going by just like that. It's already passed as soon as I've said it. So we really just have to embrace where we are in this moment and know that the sands are running through the hourglass. There used to be a soap opera on television that had that saying, as sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives, right? And that's yes, I did watch it when I had little kids at home. So maybe some of you are familiar with it, but it's really true that it's the time that just continues to run by. So where will you be 6 months from now if you stay exactly where you are right now? Where will you be a year from now if you stay exactly where you are right now? Sometimes people say, I'm just going to stay in this safe zone. It feels like familiar. It feels safe. But you know what I call that? I call it the dead zone, because that's often what it turns into. And it's kind of the devil's lie that it's safer to just stay put and do absolutely nothing any different, right? And so these are the old stories and beliefs that can hold us back from stepping forward and embracing that person we want to become, embracing a new identity for our lives. I work with many people who are doing big shifts in the identity that they've had for themselves, some of them for decades, of what they did for work. And they're seeing something new now, and you have to be able to process that in your brain and your spirit and your soul. It's more than just mouth action, lip action, saying that that's what I'm going to do. You have to really assimilate it all the way through you, every fiber of your being. And you can do that. You literally can train your brain to start creating a different connection to that identity of that person you want to become. And a lot of times that person we choose to and desire to become is the person we've always been meant to be, that we were born with that capability. We were born with that potential, and it just kind of gets squashed and mashed and bent and mutilated until we lose sight of it. I've worked with so many people say, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't feel like me anymore. That they've just gotten lost in all of the marching along, almost numb, right? Kind of just numbed out and on autopilot, and not really embracing and feeling life and living it fully for whatever time we each have on earth, to live it fully all the way through and follow the path that you might be feeling called to, that you may feel that pull, that there is something more you're meant to do. And so what I encourage you to do is pay attention to it, listen, observe, absorb, receive. There are so many ways that we get those promptings and that guidance if we just open up the channels for it and understand that we have that divine connection and can count on that and turn to that for guidance and inspiration of what we are meant to do. But start now. Start now. There's so many people that are waiting to get ready. That's a whole other topic for another day. But all that does is keep us completely locked in inertia. And that's what you don't wish to have in your life, unless it's just going to go by in kind of in that numbed out condition. So that leads us to step 5, which is take action, blast off, launch. Sometimes when I'm working with people, they're like, well, I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm not ready. I can't say that I am this person yet because I'm still getting ready. But the fact of the matter is, especially when it comes to freelancing and learning a skill, that you can start to claim that for yourself immediately, because you're the only one that's going to be able to sprinkle that fairy dust on yourself, anoint you, baptize you, bring you into the fold of whatever that thing is that you are choosing to do, whatever that new skill is. You just begin. So do it messy, do it dirty, do it imperfectly, but do something. Because when you do nothing, there's nothing to adjust, there's nothing to learn from, there's nothing to tweak or edit or improve or start over or anything, because there's absolutely nothing to work with. It's just a blank slate. And so if you will take action, even imperfectly, you can clean it up later. Okay. So if you want to start rendering a service for someone, or you're learning design, or you're learning copywriting, or you're learning funnel building, just get started. You're not going to be very good at first. Maybe you're going to mess up. Maybe it's going to be like, wow, I look back at that and say, I really learned a few things since then. But that's the point. Everything we're doing is working for us and for our business and on us. It's on our behalf. And so if you will open yourself up to learning from those experiences and knowing that things aren't failures, they're just recalibrations, a reboot of a new awareness, all of those things. And we tell ourselves that instead of I'm a failure, or I can't do it, or, I knew I'd never be able to do this. Now, one other little hint I have on that I did not put on here as a banner after take action is those near and dear to you can also be the ones that derail you the fastest, because those that are around you, oftentimes they feel threatened or uncertain when you start to change, when you start to embrace change in your life. And so you need to be aware and be intentional about where you share your dream, where you share those goals, where you share your intention of what it is that you are choosing to do next. Because you will often find that those who are still mired down in the sameness of their lives can feel threatened by it. They can feel that they're going to lose you, or they're going to lose the love connection that you might have. Or maybe you have the old story of, what if I make more money than my parents? What if I find myself having a more abundant lifestyle than some of my friends? And just feeling like, should you hold yourself back over that? Because some people do. And maybe you felt that way sometimes. And so be judicious and observant about where you share your achievements, your goals. And a lot of times that can be in a private community, a Facebook group, a group that's involved, that's wrapped around a skill that you're learning. All of those things, there are safe places for you, in the sense of, I'm with other entrepreneurial people who think like I do. And because you know what? Sometimes we who are more entrepreneurial, we are kind of a different breed of cat, right? We think differently, we live differently. We work part-time and sometimes make way more money than people that are working full-time. And what we need to have with that is cultivate that attitude of gratitude, that when we are aware that this is entirely possible for us, and in fact, we are achieving this in our lives, to have gratitude for that, to be mindful and responsible with that. It's not a case of feeling better than anyone, or putting anyone down, or anything like that, that we just need to have gratitude and compassion for those around us that might not have found that pathway yet, that might be having to put up with the very long hours and underappreciation in a particular kind of job. And so the more we are aware of that and spread kindness in the world, and not being patronizing or anything like that as we achieve more in our own lives, the better off we all are. Because what happens when you start experiencing more abundance and prosperity, you create a freedom lifestyle, you're a freelancer, you're able to adjust your revenue and really pace your income to what you choose it to be. All of these things can be happening, and not working, endlessly 40 hours a week, sometimes not even 30, maybe less than that, and still having a tremendous amount of abundance. What that gives us is options. We have options to be able to donate to the causes that we believe in, to be able to help others that need that kind of support right now, to be able to make choices with what we do with our prosperity and abundance that puts it into circulation in other ways, that has impact for others in a very positive way as well. So there is really enough to go around. There's money in circulation all around us, all around the world. But sometimes we focus our attention on the negative stories and the hard things. We can feel some conflict or confusion about having that prosperity flow to us. And so I believe that the manifestation of abundance comes from a divine source, that you're meant for that, and that it is also our obligation and our duty to be responsible with that, and to be appreciative of it, to be grateful for it, to use it wisely and with intention, and to share our good fortune in other ways as well. So all of these things can happen from being what we call a freelancer. And if you're not familiar with the term, it means, working for yourself. Basically, you're the boss of you, being an entrepreneur, developing an online business, especially because it doesn't take a lot of money to start an online business. You don't have to get a brick and mortar building, sign leases, buy furniture and heavy duty equipment. There are many aspects of being a freelancer that can be done, as I said, with a computer. It could be a laptop, could be a desktop, could be both, and a cell phone and an internet connection. And that's exactly what we do with that mobile office. We have all of those things, and I'll be talking more about how I manage that, how I work from the road, how I can work from anywhere inside the mobile office that I shared with you. Let's take another look at it right here. Yep, that's headquarters right there on the road. If you'd like, next time I can show you a tour of the interior of it, because we have had completely customized it. It has heated porcelain tile floors. It has a fireplace that helps heat part of the unit when we're out and about. We have flat screen televisions. We have mobile internet. We have 3 different ways that we do mobile internet. I have a desk set up with an iMac desktop computer set up on it, desk chair, files, wireless internet, printer, all of the things, right? Electric recliners as far as theater seating, all of the things that make it very, very comfortable. And we travel with our 3 dogs, which is also part of our lifestyle freedom. So having your freedom lifestyle really, for most of us, also depends on your ability to create a robust level of revenue, to be able to support all of these things. And that's what is so great about working online, because the options and the potential are wide open. For in my case, it's freelance copywriting. It's that particular style of writing that's marketing communication. And so my clients have been entrepreneurs, very, very successful entrepreneurs that have coaching programs. It's writing the sales pages that you see on websites. It's writing the emails. It's writing video scripts. It's writing the various offers that they may have. And it pays very, very well, and for the most part, when you get good at it. So certainly one of the options I recommend. There's many ways to be a freelance writer, but copywriting is what I would say is the most highly paid aspect of being a freelance writer. It's marketing communication, very specific. It's conversion copy, meaning we are writing materials that help people make a decision to purchase or invest or take a next step with the business person, the business owner. And it's the core for everything. It's the core for any kind of thing that you would want to sell or market or promote or attract people to, or have people sign up for. It all begins with the words, the power of the words. And if you enjoy writing, I encourage you to check out copywriting, because it could just be the answer you're looking for that freedom lifestyle. I've been working from a mobile office for, I would say, the entire time of my journey online as a copywriter, which is almost 2 decades. We're approaching, I think, 18 years now, something like that. I've had a lot of different versions of a mobile office. So we've learned a lot along the way of exactly how to manage that. So I will be doing sharing some future videos about how to do that. If you're interested in that sort of tiny home, mobile, on the move, want to go somewhere, still be able to work, and have a room with a view when you do, and have the internet connection. It's been something so much fun also, because, and there's times where it's not fun, but for the most part it is. But my clients have always found it really fascinating. That I've never kept it a secret that this is how I navigate all across the country and outside the country, even with it. And I might be working from a different location the next time I speak with them. I've done live challenges from inside the mobile office. I do live video. Right now I'm in we also have a home in Arizona, and that's where I am right now. I'm not in the mobile office right this minute. It's parked right outside the window though. And we'll be heading out in a few weeks in it. So maybe I'll do some videos from there too for you, so you can see how that works. So that's what I've got for you today. I just really thank you for being here. And I would like to remind you that if you subscribe, smash like, and share, comment, I would really appreciate that. I appreciate so much your interest and the fact that you've joined me here. I do intend to be going live most Tuesdays, I would say but sometimes things happen along the way with travel and things. But most of the time, Tuesdays, I will be going live at 11 a.m. Eastern right here on this YouTube channel. So I hope that you'll join me. And if you'd like to check out a way to learn more about how you can develop a skill for being a freelancer and be able to travel and work from wherever you want, you can check out my cashflowcopywritingchallenge.com. That's the challenge I do that teaches you a lot more about what this copywriting thing is all about, what funnels are all about, all of those things. So thanks again for being here today. I really appreciate it. And until next time, this is Tina Lorenz, and I'll be talking to you again soon.